Hello community! In the world of assassinations, as we all know, there are three main assassination objectives. First, of course, is silent assassin, meaning that we have to have perfect execution. No bodies could ever be spotted, we cannot be seen doing illegal actions, and we must only eliminate our targets. Of course, after that, shoot only, meaning we're not allowed to change disguises at any point during the mission. And of course, our main objective, sniper assassin, meaning that every target needs to be killed by a bullet coming from a sniper rifle. Now, when you combine these things together, it's already hard enough, but we added complications, a 10-minute time limit, long range, meaning that every target had to be killed from far away, and also they had to be conscious at all time. But of course, now that we're in Hitman 3, it only seems fair we have to up the ante. For starters, all maps have to be beaten on Master difficulty, which is Hitman's hardest difficulty. And on top of that, we'll lower the time limit from 10 minutes to 7. Meaning that there's only one question that needs to be asked. Can it actually be done? Dubai. At first glance may seem like a difficult map for a sniper playthrough. 95% of it takes place in an interior setting, which means there are no natural hiding spots like rivers or bushes where a body can go missing. However, despite that, the map being interior focused isn't really the problem, as its tower-like design is split into two separate wings, both featuring different vantage points from which a sniper can be used. However, like I said previously, there's very few natural places where a body can be hidden from distance, and our targets never visit those particular locations, which means we have to look at the other 5% of the map, the exterior. Due to its height in the air, anybody that falls off the map will have their body hidden by gravity. It's clearly the superior strategy when it comes to long-range snipers. However, due to its small overall size, the exterior portions lack any good vantage points for a sniper playthrough. So, if we can't shoot our targets into the air, perhaps we'll have to find a way to get them airborne by themselves. Given that both our targets require strict lures for this route to work, we need to waste no time as we make our way up. And what sniper rifle you choose doesn't really matter, as we'll leave our briefcase behind. That way, we never have to worry about getting caught while we're pulling it out. Just make sure you have a good zoom on your scope, a silencer on your tip, and the ability to slow down time before taking a shot. Also, this is not Big Brother, so any camera we come across, we are legally obliged to eradicate. But because we don't have a lockpick, we'll have to channel our inner Mia Khalifa and blow our way to the top. The fact we're also doing this in Dubai happens to be a near perfect irony. Once we reach the penthouse, we'll create a hole in the wall as a distraction for the guard. This will buy us just enough time to cross the room and use our trank to send his friend to the dreamland. From here, we will head up the stairs, where the first evacuation lock will await. This is where our electronic key hacker comes in handy. Bet a lot of you didn't know it could be used for this, but it's an absolute time saver to have. At the bottom floor, the panicked mate will head out to look for a savior. It will be a perfect chance to sneak unnoticed and take position around the bend. Timing here is critical. Our second target will make his way up the stairs any moment. Whichever guard happens to stay behind is the one who's going to get tranked on the way to the final lock. Don't worry about the mate either, as she will turn her back to us faster than a French general during a war. From here, our plan is mostly set in motion, but we're yet to get into position. We have to carefully retrace our steps as we make our way down the stairs. We will run into a patrolling guard. Luckily, he will quickly find himself losing consciousness. We need to get rid of him to make sure our exit is as safe as possible, and also his silenced pistol won't do us any harm either. Once his body is hidden, do like a redneck and hug the wall like it's your first cousin. The road down the stairs should be safe enough from here. We will find two guards at the bottom, directly in front of our sniper nest. This is where the silenced pistol we picked up will come in for a clutch distraction. Make sure to pick up every melee item you come across and open up the window. This should get rid of the 2 smokers and the room will be ours. Once in position, we will have no more than 20 seconds to execute our targets before they've successfully escaped. We cannot, under any circumstances, allow ourselves to miss. We must shoot them, not the parachutes, in order to complete the sniper objective. And once we've taken them down, we are just a few distractions away from the exit. First, we need to distract the 2 guards right next to us. And then, when we make our way back up the stairs, we have to make sure the female janitor looks in the opposite direction so we can have a free pass to dive into the elevator. All in all, this should reward us with a successful Silent Assassin rating, securing our first mission with flying colors. No pun intended. Dartmoor, a giant manor in the middle of the map, surrounded by open areas, filled with rivers, bushes, and wet areas just deep enough to hide a target. The manor has high vantage points on all 4 sides, allowing for assassinations from any direction. At a first glance, this map is a sniper assassin's dreamland, but our target won't make that quite so simple. Alexa Carlyle will never leave the manor on her default route, meaning that the excellent design of the map won't matter, as the sniper guide will be impossible from the inside. The only way to achieve our goal is to lure her out, and there are 2 main ways to do so. Alexa has planned a photo shoot with her family. This will lure her out, but with so many people all around, we will not get an opportunity to strike. The second lure is the inspection of her grave for the upcoming funeral. She will walk her way to the graveside alone with just a single guard. Her route will be clouded with bushes and the river to her right, as well as a giant wet spot to her left. It is clearly our best chance to strike. Alexa has already planned the funeral, and I suggest we don't disappoint. With our quintessentially British loadout selected, it's time for us to begin our grand tour and bring this evil granny to rest. For starters, we'll take the boat entry as our starter. You'd think that arriving on the boat will mean that we also have the keys to exit on it, but it appears Ayo didn't really think that through. Running along, we'll meet a guard who's sleeping on the job. I have a feeling he won't be the only one, which is a good thing, as otherwise he'd be a nightmare to deal with when making our way to the exit especially. From there, we will find our way into the manor. There, we will quickly dispatch one of the mates. Make sure to look away from our pantyhose, as you'll need both of your hands to finish this run. If you survive this lustful encounter, you will have a chance to meet yet another guard who is drastically losing consciousness. With him out of the way, we can kindly put Alexa's daughter to sleep. Now, it's important here to pull out our chosen sniper and quickly move outside. We have to shoot down the crow's nest so we can lure out our target. Try not to shoot the same tree twice in a row as to avoid panicking the Undertaker. That way he won't chokeslam your ass straight to hell and ruin our beautiful guide. Here we can pick up Rebecca's key and her half token, which will go towards our side objective. With her out of the way, it's time to move on to our next victim, Alfred Pennyworth. Poor guy's never been the same after the events of Arkham Knight. By turning on the vacuum cleaner, he'll come to investigate all alone, giving us the perfect opportunity to isolate him and send him on a trip back to Gotham. Hide the body and make sure to only pick up the key and half token. We will make our way back into the taxidermy room, which looks like it came straight from Raccoon City, and hide the mess that we've created. We're gonna take Rebecca and gently move her across the room. Once hidden, look out the window and open whichever door the guard is furthest away from. Then go to her bodyguard and repeat the process. This room needs to be squeaky clean, as Evil Granny will go through it in just a matter of seconds. Once hidden, go to the window and do the same shot, But for the other door now, it's important we do this, as it will make our exit significantly easier later on. Then we're free to make our way upstairs to the sniper nest. Here, if you weren't able to make the shots earlier, now you'll get the chance to do so. We must utilize our trank one last time on Alexa's personal bodyguard. This shot is important, so carefully look at my aim and shoot right above the door frame. It doesn't matter if the body gets found, we only need a time window long enough to take our shot. Here, we will wait for Alexa to reach the nearest side of the river bank and splash the water as a distraction, then shoot another distraction shot towards the female NPCs, followed by the most important shot, the one that will send Granny flying into the air and into the bottom of the river. With Alexa now swimming with the fishes, our job is almost complete. But remember, this particular guide does have one weakness. Her bodyguard will follow her to her exact location, no matter where that happens to be, so the body is bound to get discovered eventually if we don't exit fast enough. That is why I spent so much time, even from the start, prepping our exit. This part can be a little messy, but as long as you're able to keep attention to your surroundings, you should be able to sneak in, grab the boat key, and sneak out just quickly enough to make your way out of the greenhouse. Then it's only a matter of reaching the boat, so we can call our run a success and proudly pat ourselves for achieving yet another perfect silent assassin. Berlin. Dark, gritty, and full of atmosphere. Possibly one of the most unique maps ever created. When it comes to its overall layout, there are no shortages of vantage points, from a sniper nest deep within the forest to the rooftops of the club, biker base, and connecting bridge. Bushes are found towards the left portion of the map, while the right has a river flowing across it, both providing you with unique opportunities for assassinations. No other map has the tools that Berlin provides, though you will need all of them to complete your mission. You have a total of 10 targets throughout the map. Some are exclusive to the interiors of the club and biker hangout area, while others roam free through the exterior portions. All targets are enforcers, whose only purpose is to hunt you down. Though you only need to kill 5 of them to complete the mission, on the WildGold channel we can make no compromises. None shall leave Berlin alive. But what that means is that we have to be very particular with our methods, as targets will exfil through 2 separate locations, meaning that the only way to kill them all will be to make sure they're all fleeing from one side. A challenge unlike any other, though a perfect chance to prove ourselves as the apex predator. Taking on 10 guys all at once is a legendary feat, only ever attempted previously by Lisa Ann and Adriana Chechek. But with this loadout in hand, I believe we could give it a fair shot. The sole reason I grabbed the ICA-19 Stealth is because I could use it to open doors without wasting ammo on my sniper rifle, something that can become really scarce later on in the level. That's why I went with the regular Seeger over the Ghost. At the start of the level, we do need to reach the top rather quickly, as our first target is almost in position. A bullet distraction will lure him right in between the vents. Take the shot and Agent Green will be wiped clean. Up next, we'll face the agent on the ground level. Like I showcased in the preview, the bushes are very important. A single distraction should be more than enough, if positioned correctly, to set up the kill, and as soon as he enters the bushes, Agent Thames will lose his brains. And believe it or not, this is all we can do from this particular location. This is one of those levels where we will be using several different sniper nests to hunt down our targets. For now, we will have to make our way into the club and do so quickly. When we reach the guard at the staff entrance, we will use a coin lure so we can sneak in unnoticed. But when we reach the top floor, we will once more have to pull out the rifle and this time use our briefcase to send this particular guard on a break. This is our second sniper nest, and much like the previous, we'll be looking for multiple targets. Taking out the camera and opening the door will set up our first kill while we wait for our main man to get into position. Once he does, we will shoot towards the river bend to lure him away. Now, this shot is really tricky. You can't go too deep as he won't hear it, but if you do it too close, you won't be able to hide the body. Wait for him to reach the exact spot before pulling the trigger, and just like that, Agent Swan will be all and gone. Then, we will immediately focus on our next target, just arriving on the scene. Once he looks in our direction, we will shoot a shot right next to the door and await for his arrival. Right before he appears, you want to shoot a second bullet into the wall to distract the guard leaning on the table, as he could spot the body. Then, with his back turned, we can pull the trigger and send Agent Rhodes to sleep with toads. These rhymes are killing me. So far, we've been fully truthful to the objectives of the challenge, but here we'll have to bend the long-range rule a little bit, as otherwise it will be impossible to take down the remaining targets. When we make our way down the stairs, we will await the arrival of our final target. By placing coins on the ground, we will ensure he comes to the exact location we want. Clearly, the ICA doesn't pay that much, but then again, if you have 47 on the payroll, why would you need anyone else? By opening the door with our sniper, we'll get him to come and investigate. He should see the coins and start collecting them, but if he doesn't, you can always fire a second shot, which will panic him and get him near our location. I've tried it and it does tend to work as well. Once he's close enough, just for sport, we'll take the shot and Agent Davenport will soon deport. With 5 targets completed, the other agents will rush out of the building to escape. We should have just enough time to position ourselves on the bridge and await them. If you had chosen the Ghost or a different sniper with less ammo, you'll be in real trouble here, as you'll barely have any bullets left. These shots can be hard to hit, but you always want to aim just slightly in front of them as they're running away. We are positioned in a great spot, so even if we were to miss, we will have more than enough time to catch them on the straight. The only thing that can stop you from here is running out of ammo. Once you've cleaned out the last of the agents, we'll hear the expertly done quote from their handler and prepare for the exit. We will use our briefcase as both a distraction and a lure towards the delivery boy, who has the keys for our exit. He will go to pick up our briefcase, and that will allow us to safely choke the crap out of him, take the keys, shoot the door open, and run our way to the exit. This is the first guide from this challenge that I was able to put together, and it's what gave me the confidence that this can actually be done, as I knew that if I can conquer Berlin, the rest of the world was soon to follow. Chongqing, China. Possibly one of Hitman's most unique layouts. A map that can be fully traversed from the rooftops, the ground, and the tunnels below. A map that features unrivaled levels of freedom of approach. But our targets are both roaming the interiors of heavily guarded sections throughout the map. We will find Hush at the top floors of an apartment building used for human experiments, and Imogen Royce will be roaming down below in the ICA facility. At first glance, the targets cannot be further apart, both in very different areas for a sniper guide. But we do have something going for us. The targets are not allies, but rivals who are forced to share territory. All we have to do is cause a little bit of conflict between them, and they'll both scurry out from the safety of their dens into the open areas of the city. Blinded by emotions and illusions of grandeur, they'll have a meeting out in the open, giving us a perfect chance to strike. A tranquilizer and a coin. Technically, we don't need the coin, but I didn't want to start with no gear. I mean, I'm not a hipster or anything, that's why I'm starting on the balcony, just to save some time. From here, we'll use the power of hardcore parkour to get ourselves to our Leviathan. Picking up the brick is essential, though we will not be using it on the very first guard we see, as he's simply not important enough. Then we can hide his body and Spider-Man our way up to the sniper nest, where we can begin the lures. Although we have a lot of ammo with this particular rifle, it is essential that our shots are accurate, as the lure won't go into effect until all drones have been destroyed, meaning that the timing of this guide will vary drastically based on how good or how shit you are with your aim. Once the drones are out of the picture, Royce will send 2 of her lackeys to check the roof. We will trank the guard closest to us and turn his partner into a Home Alone villain. With both of these bozos staring at the sky, we can slide down and hide them from sight. The container already has 1 guard sleeping in it, which means there's room for just 1 more. I bet they'll have an interesting conversation when they wake up together, though we'll be long gone by then. The other guard can be hidden behind the stairs, a perfect place to keep him away while retrieving a crowbar as our next melee item. In just a matter of seconds, Royce will send additional drones for information, and if you're quick enough, you can take them down instantly as soon as they appear. With our setup complete, Royce will send 2 additional guards to secure the roof. They may have guns on them, but we have something far more powerful, the high ground. Wait for them to split and give them the exact same treatment as the previous couple. With everyone around us now in Dreamland, it's time for us to prepare for the golden shot. Now, any amateur can shoot them separately as they're standing still, but it takes a superior assassin to try and snipe them both with a single shot. If you're up for the challenge, aim your crosshair on top of Hush and await your silver-haired dame to approach. If your speed matches your confidence, you pull off one of the most impressive and most difficult kills that the game has to offer. And I know some people may prefer getting it done quicker, but as every woman will tell you, technique is far more important than speed. With our mission finished, we can scale down and exit the level, awarding us once again with a silent assassin stamp of approval. Though, before getting too excited, just remember, this mission is a child's play compared to what's coming next. Mendoza. Though a beautiful map from the outside, it can be nothing short of a living nightmare for the less experienced players. We have the garden section, which is filled with tall grass and a giant lake, perfect for hiding bodies, which is great, given that our one and only sniper nest is located right in front of it. However, for our dismay, none of the main targets make their way anywhere near that location. Tamara Vidal is obsessed with the limelight. She is always protected by guards and only hangs out in public areas, most of which cannot even be reached with a sniper. On the other hand, Dan Yates spends his time in the villa, surrounded by guards. This type of mission would seem completely impossible to anyone looking at the targets on a surface level. But then again, beating impossible targets is what Agent 47 does best. As you can tell, once more, we will not be bringing a sniper with us, but that's okay, we need that extra slot. Plus, the sniper on this map is perfect for exactly what we need. I have brought a regular pistol without a silencer, because it's the only one I don't mind getting rid of, as you're about to see in just a second. Making my way to the hill section, I'll drop my pistol and throw a coin towards Tamara's personal bodyguard. He will come to investigate and, finding our gun, will intercept him, giving us enough time to complete our scheme. Next is Tamara herself. After she passes by the guard, we will have the perfect chance to drop the bomb on her. The emetic grenade will diverge her route, as she'll go to a private place and isolate herself. It is the only way we can complete this mission. We can grab a coin and throw it behind the guards to gain access to the gardens. Also, that way, we don't have to waste any of our coins, as we're gonna need them very soon. When reaching the entrance, make sure to use your instinct to discover the camera's grid and hug the opposite wall to avoid it, before climbing up. Be very careful with the roaming guard, don't move until he goes past, and then you can climb up and get rid of him, without wasting any props. When we reach the nest itself, we'll throw a medium coin distraction. Too far and it will fall off, too close and we'll get caught. Do like your first time and be gentle. Then smash the brick onto the very first guard for a silent takedown and choke out the remaining one. Our sniper will be awaiting our arrival, and with it equipped, we can immediately make our way to Tamura. It may sound pervy, but wait for her to bend over before taking your shot. That way her body will flip into the bushes where it should remain hidden. Then we can shoot Don Yates in the leg. He used to be an adventurer, like us, but now he took a bullet to the knee. You're not gonna kill him with it, but it will send him running away. From here, it's all about making our way to the exit. We'll throw another coin to distract the stairs guard and begin making our way to the boat. Once we reach the shed, we will find everything we need inside of it. A crowbar for a quick melee, the keys for both the villa and boat exit, as well as a radio that will give us a perfect distraction. Once the guard heads to investigate, we can close in on the window and throw the crowbar for a quick knockout. Then choke out his friend. Don't use any prop takedowns on him, as it's likely to send him into the water, killing him and losing you, a silent assassin. Hide the body in the shed and prepare for one final shot. Don Yates should be making his way back onto the terrace any second, so all we have to do is be patient, wait for him to stop, and when he does, send one perfectly timed bullet straight through the skull. This mission won't allow us to exit right away, meaning that if there's any weaknesses in our strategy, there will be no way to cover it up. But about 10 seconds after the final target is confirmed, we'll be able to exit the mission and claim an incredibly sweet and fast Silent Assassin rating on one of the hardest missions in all of Hitman, meaning that we have only one left to go. Ambrose Island. Gameplay-wise, this map is a perfect paradise, though its dark atmosphere doesn't quite reflect that. Numerous vantage points are located throughout the entirety of the map, perfect for a long-range sniper. This map also has a lot of water sources and tall bushes where bodies could easily be hidden out of sight. Aka is our female target. She is mostly found in the restricted areas of the Pirate's Den, while our male target, Noel Crest, is overwhelmingly roaming open public areas. Though both targets can be lured into various locations and isolated from range, that will not be necessary, as I'm about to show you the most difficult element of creating a Hitman route: making it simple. This is the loadout I've went for, and as you can see, this will be the first time I'll be using a smuggled item in the form of the EMP, just because it will make things a little bit more convenient towards the end. Starting out the level, it's actually very important to be quick, as we're about to set both kills in motion within the very first minute of gameplay. Make sure to bump this guy to buy yourself some time and prepare to unload your rifle. Pull-out speed is important here, so make sure to grab a Seeger. Then aim your sights on the pirate flag, and as soon as Aka's head moves within view, pull the trigger and claim your bounty. In just 30 seconds we've already eliminated our very first target. I told you, the beauty of this guide is in its simplicity. From there, we have to make our way into the hut of Noel's favorite chef. Timing is crucial here, as he's making his way to us as we speak. Turning on the radio will wake her up for good, meaning we can leap out and head for the kitchen supply room. It's important to have the lockpick on us, as opening this door with our sniper may cause unwanted attention. Remember, we are on master difficulty, so NPCs are a lot more sensitive to our actions. Once we've taken the rat poison, it's time to rush into the kitchen and prepare a meal. I'm no master chef, but I don't need to be. Noel won't be alive long enough to criticize our dish. Just put it together and don't forget the secret sauce. it's the key to our mission success. Once completed, go outside and just bump into Crest until you see the female chef climbing up the stairs. He won't eat food from anyone but her, so this is very important. Once completed, we can almost take a sigh of relief, though that would be foolish as the most difficult part awaits us in the caves. But we first need to pick up our EMP from the staff area nearby. It's on the way, so it won't slow us down too much. The cook inside has food poisoning, so he won't spot us as easily, and boy, when the cook himself has a food poisoning, that tells you all you need to know about the standards of the meals here. No wonder Crest is so reluctant to eat. With our EMP collected, it's time to rush towards our objective. This part is very difficult, so if you have a safe, this is where I would suggest to drop it. We need to avoid the camera's lens as we make our way inside. Timing is critical. You have to be confident and just go for it. With the leaning guard taken care of, we'll drag him a little bit closer to the wall just to make sure he doesn't get spotted, and we can use then a throwable melee to deal with his friend. This may seem dangerous at first, so if you want, you can just wait for him to turn around and start walking away from us. I'll hide his body just in case and move on to our objective. This throw is really tricky as the EMP can bounce off the satellite if you throw it too far. Just aim for the monitor and press the EMP mid-air. That should do the trick. Also, don't forget to destroy the camera on the way out. It's by far the easiest way to screw this guide up, right as we've reached the final portion. Don't ask me how I know. Noel should be making his way to the beach any minute, so we'll have just enough time to get ourselves into position. Don't shoot too early, wait for both of his guards to reach their final location, and then, when he shows his head, we can pull the lever and pop it like a balloon. There's many exits from here that we can choose, but the fastest and easiest one is just to retrace our steps back to our starting location. And just like that, we've conquered not just Ambrose Island, but the entire Hitman trilogy. We've shown that Sniper Assassin can be done right, not just for 1 or 2 maps, but each and every single one. I remember the first time I attempted this challenge. It was at the very end of 2023, and back then there was a real stigma around Sniper Assassin. A lot of YouTubers were uploading videos and calling them sniper guides, but in reality they were just sneaking up on targets and killing them from 2 feet away. And there was always excuses, of course, saying that, well, this map isn't done right or the target doesn't work like that. But through the course of now 3 videos, I've proven that that's never the case. There's not one map or one target that I haven't been able to take down in this particular fashion. Lazy people, we always come up with excuses for why this isn't right or why that won't work. And at the end of the day, my guides aren't the only way to do it either. There's plenty of alternatives. Always. The reason these guides are so important to me, and the reason I wanted to share them with all of you, was to showcase the fact that Hitman isn't a game of yes or no. It's a game of you never know, because ultimately, the biggest restriction you have is up here. And, by the way, this video is not a flash in the pan. I do have some more Hitman content coming very soon. I believe it's going to be every other video. So, until next time, this has been WildGold, and thank you all so very much for watching.